Alright, so this is gonna be the first episode of Maserati Car Confessions on YouTube, and make sure you guys go check it out. Subscribe to YouTube, LV Visions, anything social media, LV Visions, and our guest is gonna be Yellow. Yellow is a director out here in LA, but he's from San Diego. Definitely someone to look out for. Not even to look out for. He's been doing it. He's worked out with a lot of major people, a lot of TDE and like Absol and Schoolboy Q and all them, and he's out here doing his thing. So make sure you guys go check it out. Live the vision or watch us live it. Stay tuned. All right, so we're almost here right now. We're about to pull up to him. He's just finishing up a little gig. He works with Fat Sal's. He's like their content guy, and he's just right here up the street. So I'm stuck in traffic. I'm just kidding. There's like a little intersection, but that's just gonna be kind of difficult to get to. That's it. Alright, so here we are, about to pull up. So right here from Highland to Highland, we're right here in Hollywood on Highland at the Fat Sal's, where hopefully he's still there. But yeah, I just passed earlier and he had his little set going on. So we'll see what's up. Here we are.
What's going on?
Maserati Car Confessions, Yellow. Dude, what's up, dude?
Man, I know I haven't seen you in a minute.
I know.
That's how I seen you probably here.
I seen you right now when I passed by. You had the backdrop and all that, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you do? Like all their content?
I do all the Fat Sal's. I'm their content director, so I do all their photography, their videos, their commercials, anything that has to do with showing the product.
That's
they
dope.
show all the product
and
stuff.
And it's just for all of them, or just
yeah,
the ones here?
corporately. No, for all the Fat Sal's.
That's dope,
yeah.
bro. How long you been with them?
A little over 2 years now, so it's been a little minute. We built this relationship off of like other places that I used to work for, and then it kind of like after I left this company, they kind of came along with me too. So
dope.
we just built a really good relationship with each other. So
that's dope.
That's how it all came about.
So if you guys don't know, you guys probably do, but this is Yellow. He's from SD. He's been out here in LA for how long? You've been out here for a minute, bro.
Well, when I moved out of San Diego, I was living in Ventura, Oxnard for like 3 years, and then moved to LA. So I'm in my 4th year in LA officially. In LA, yeah.
So it moves fast.
So
I'm
like
on my second.
Yeah, so it's like it's been 7 years since I left San Diego. So 4 years, almost 4 years in LA, and then 3 years in Ventura.
Okay, that's dope. And all you do now is all like visual stuff.
Shooting. It's constantly shooting and editing, being independent. So I mean, it takes a lot of work, but
that's dope. Are you like mainly like directing, or do you go, like float around through all different departments?
For the most part, it's directing. Every now and then, like, because people like the way I edit, because a lot of the times when you're doing stuff independently, budgets aren't the biggest, so you have to edit it yourself.
Right.
So I edit a lot of it myself, and sometimes a lot of people like the way I edit, so they'll hire me to edit, or maybe like DP every now and then.
Okay, that's
so
dope.
that'll be here and there.
What
too.
what is your thing that you like? Is the editing part, or would you like the editing, or
I hate editing.
Oh my god.
I used to kind of like editing, but then it's got to the point where like when you get overloaded on so much work, like you have to balance your time between directing, going out to shoot, and then coming back and putting your mind to editing, because that's two different mindsets you gotta have. You got the direct, you gotta do all the labor work, and then you gotta sit down and put all your mental ability and creativity into like all this footage that you shot.
And it's crazy because people think it's just like for like music videos or whatever, it's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and they think it's like a little short thing. But to put in like 3 and 4 minutes, I spend like at least 24 hours a lot of hours, physical hours editing, you know what I'm saying? And people just think it's just this like
days,
little video.
yeah.
So it's so for editing, it's like some people either love it or hate it.
Right.
I enjoy it. I enjoy editing. It's tedious, but like as you start getting like nice little cuts, you're like, okay, it's starting to fold out. What made you get into a video? How'd you do that?
Man, so I mean, it started as a kid and it kind of left and came back. So when I was younger, I didn't grow up in a good neighborhood. So my parent my dad was gone a lot because he worked, so he wasn't home for months at a time. So I'd be home with like mom and grandma and stuff like that. And because like, you know, the neighborhood we grew up at wasn't like, they didn't want me playing with like hanging out with the people around there. So as a kid, I'd have to stay in the house, and all I really was able to do all day was watch TV and watch movies and stuff, and cartoons and all that. So it grew my love to wanna, because I was a good artist when I was younger. I mean, I'm decent now, but you know, like that, like I was a lot better when I was younger. So I used to like to draw. So you know, I thought, you know, my first goal was to be a cartoonist or an animator when I got older. And then like after years went by, I was watching a documentary about how The Simpsons was made, and they said it was taking like 6 months in Japan to make it per episode. So I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna draw that many like sheets or whatever. So that kind of went out the door. But you know, I still loved movies and TV and stuff. And my next kind of like epiphany in film was when my uncle took us, like the whole family, out to Universal Studios, which is, you know, down the street from here. And then you know, like they had the rides and stuff. My favorite was the tram ride. So you know, we went on the tram ride, and I saw you know, one of my favorite movies was Back to the Future, and you saw the clock set, and like it was right here. Like, you know, so like my fans was like, oh, that's cool. But you know, with me, it was just like, wow, they shot all this right here. Like, I can't believe they shot it here. And just like the atmosphere made me like it more. So when I got to high school, it kind of went away, like phased out, because you know, like I was young, you know, I wasn't thinking about my career, nothing yet. And then I started to think about going into engineering. And then you know, in my high school I went to, you take college prep classes to prepare you for when you go to your major in your college. And then so when I went in the same field as engineering, that was what my dad wanted to do, but you know, he wasn't able to be an engineer. So I was like, you know what, I'll be an engineer. And then I started taking all these math classes and AP math and honors. And when I got to pre-calculus, I was struggling. I was like, nah, I can't do this shit no more. So
and this is during high school now.
It was during high school. It was like my junior year of high school. I was just like, I can't do this. Like, this is too much math, and I don't even like this, like math like that. And on top of that, my dad was like, what type of engineer are you trying to be? I was like, well, there's more than one. You know, because I was an idiot kid. I mean, I wasn't a dumb kid. Like, I graduated with a 3.48 GPA, but I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't thinking like, you know, like that. So then like I had to really sit down and really think of what I really like doing. And then, you know, like in the past, I was already playing with video editing, because back then we had like, what do we have, like Morpheus and all, like the LimeWire and stuff like that. So I was looking for video software editing, and I had a PC at the time, and I couldn't use Final Cut. So I was like, what other software there is for PC? And I downloaded Sony Vegas, and I learned on it on my own. You know, back then, like, there was no YouTube, like there was barely any forums that taught us anything. So I had to self-teach myself Sony Vegas. And then by then, like, that made me like, you know what, I want to try doing this. And my senior year, I just stuck onto it, and then went to San Diego State for a few years for the pre-film major, and then went to Ventura to finish up film school. And
that's when you went to that's when you went to Brook College, right?
Brooks Institute, yeah.
Brooks Institute. Yeah, I was looking into that as well before I got out. That's dope. How is it being a director? Like, the people that don't know, what type of pressure do you enjoy it? Like, what is it like when you're actually like go from the prep part to the shoot part Yeah.
I mean, being a director, you got to be a leader. That's one thing, but you got to be a leader that knows how to handle stress and knows how to maintain, because when you bring a crew of people, you, like, everyone's looking at you. Like, you're the guy that they're looking at. You're like the captain of the team, and if they see you stressing out and freaking out, they'll freak out too. I think Tarantino probably said it best on one of these roundtables. Like, he was you know, he's the type of guy that can, you know, just lash out real quick and just freak out. But he even said, like, even me, I don't do that on set. You know, if I freak out, my whole team will freak out. You lose the whole momentum of the set. So you have to be a great leader to maintain all that, and you got to be a quick thinker, because sometimes, like, things happen on set, and you have to know how to come up with different ways to, like, you know, alternatives and stuff like that if something happens. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be you gotta think quick. That's another thing about doing that too. I think from directing or shooting, sometimes you want it to, you know, that not to be like to be in a real technical terms, is directors aren't even supposed to touch the camera.
I know.
But there's directors that do like to touch the camera. Like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the shoot. And, you know, like, if sometimes your DP won't understand what you're trying to do, so you have to go and do it for them too. But, you know, and that's the fun part. But sometimes I like to let people do their job and let them make their magic too, while I envision, like make sure that the talent gets the best performance out of what they're doing.
'Cause it's a like a weird transition going from like, I think we kind of started at the same, just doing like music videos by ourselves, where you're doing completely everything, and then from like kind of like handing it off. Like, I love to be on the camera, you know, I love to be on the camera, but once it's like a bigger production, it's kind of like you kind of even don't have the time, especially if you're trying to, like they're setting up, or you're trying to like talk to the director. But I definitely like to be on the camera as well. But yeah, I feel you on the like, that's kind of like their job too. And but I think finding a good DP that knows how to work with you, it's kind of like it works out. That's dope. What was your first like LA experience working with a big artist?
It's crazy, honestly. Who was my first biggest artist?
You're talking about Nipsey. I love that write-up that you did.
Oh yeah, so when Nipsey was I was still living in San Diego at the time, but he was my first LA artist that I've shot with. And it was crazy because I barely just got on to, like, I knew who he was, but I didn't really listen to his music like that yet. And I remember him because I went to a concert with The Game, and Nipsey was opening in San Diego at the House of Blues. And then I saw, oh, this is turned up. And then he had just dropped the Marathon mixtape. And then I started rocking with his Marathon mixtape. I was like, wow, like, this dude's gangster's a motherfucker, but but he does it in a different way, like in a more conscious way to it. But there's still like, in a ways I relate to it just because like, I didn't grow up exactly like him, but I grew up around the same things that he did. So I related to it a lot. And then I remember I reached out to him one time on Twitter, and then I had a lot of people help, like, reach out to him for me about doing a video to his project, because he wasn't really making a whole lot of videos to his projects too. And then one day I was still in school, and then I was working at T-Mobile, and I was running the store by myself, and I was just sitting there, and then my phone rings, and usually I don't answer weird numbers because, like, college kid, I owed a lot of bills and stuff. I was like, no, I'm not gonna pick this up. But then I saw it, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, let's try it. And then I picked up, and the first thing I heard was, hey, Yellow, cuz, it's Nip. I was like, Nip? What Nip? And then he said Nipsey Hussle. And then I didn't believe him at first, and I was just letting him talk. And then, like, when I started hearing his voice, because I've been listening to the Marathon, I was like, okay, this really is him. And he was like, yo, I want you to come out to South Central, meet me at my shop on Slauson and Crenshaw, and then we'll spend a day shooting. And we spent the entire day shooting. And then, like, I was nervous, so, like, I got it together and then came back. And then, like, just doing that video, because, he was really building a lot of big buzz. And people from home, like, they saw, like, everything I was doing on social media, and they were, like, proud and stuff, like, yo, like, you really went far and above this time, and really went and got, like, a pretty big name. At least for us it is a big name. And from there on, it just kind of like a snowball effect, where, like, everything was coming afterwards.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, he's well, we just worked with him too, and he's one of the most humblest, like, dudes. Him and his brother was just like, it's crazy. Like, he made it, like, fun for everybody, because he would, like, come back to to look at the shot, and he was hyped like a little kid, and it was just like, it was dope. He's one of the dopest dudes that I worked with, and it was dope. What is one of your favorite projects that you've worked on?
One of my favorite is a project that we never released. It was for Ab Soul, from his These Days project that he had. It was an album ago, so he released an album last year, but it was the album before. We had just got, and I'd shot with him previously because he was featured on someone else's song, and I got a chance to meet with him again for another person's song, and then he wanted to link up and actually do a whole project. So they wanted to do 3 videos, and or he wanted not even 3 videos, but he was just like, yo, I want to shoot some projects off of this project, and I got this, I want you to write something to this song. And I was just like, okay, what do you want to did you have an idea when I write the treatment, or did you want me to just build from it? He said, I don't know, but I just want to rap over a bonfire. And I was sitting there, I was just like, a bonfire? But like with us in California, bonfires are so regular. You get what I'm saying? So it's not really a wild thing. And I was just like, what about like a campfire or something in the forest or something like that? Like, we could light up the lights really dope and stuff like that too. He said, and I just told him, like, we could light up the trees and all that. And he said trees, and he had this song on his project called Tree of Life. And he's like, you should do Tree of Life too. I was like, okay, did you have an idea for that? And he told me like, I want a video where it's kind of like Avatar, where I'm protecting the tree of light, and I'm protecting the tree from a tribe of bad bitches. And he said it just like that. I was like, okay. And I was like, is there anything else? And then he was just like, and just go through the project. I haven't done a video for it yet, and any song that's not featured anyone else, just write a treatment to it and just get going. And then so I like literally after I finished that video, I went back and just started writing treatments. I just went through his album, but you know, I was just sitting there listening to it and trying to think, because he wanted an idea with a bonfire or with a campfire, and then one with a tribe of bad chicks. And then me and my other DP that I have, we just went, you know, location scouting, just looking at locations, just to keep in the back of our mind, we have a budget for this, let's shoot here. And then my DP was just like, yo, we got this, we went to this space set, was a spaceship set out in, it was like in the northeast part of LA. And it was the former set for this this like one-off series called Firefly that you could probably see on Netflix right now. They still had the set still holding, and then he was just like, I don't know what video it is, and I don't care what the song, whatever when we have the budget, try to write an idea for it, and I'll light the shit out of this. And I was just like, okay, cool. And then so I found a song that kind of fit the idea, but then I'm like, okay, there's a space idea, a fire idea, and a Avatar idea. How can I connect these three together? Because I thought it would be cool and I would stand out more if I could connect this together. So I created like a sci-fi fantasy story out of all three ideas to one full story. So I connected all three. So like we went to the spaceship set and shot the first video, and then the next day we drove all the way out to the Angeles National Forest, which is like north of Pasadena. Drove like 45 minutes out and went to the middle of the forest, just went to some random like camping spot, and just started walking through the trees and just started shooting there for the bonfire scene. Then the next day we brought the group of girls. They showed up late. We had like a group of girls dressed like Amazons with spears and everything like that, face painted, and then we dressed them up as well, and then just shot this whole like sequence of everything, and it went crazy. But it was just the fact that like we're shooting just something so different from like a regular music video, that it was fun. And then also trying to put this thing together. But the worst part was the editing part, because it was a lot of motion graphics, and the budget was not big at all. So I was spending time sitting there trying to figure out, watching tutorials, how to figure out how to do certain things on it. And then what's worse is that there's things that I want that doesn't exist as a tutorial on YouTube. So I had to look up other tutorials and put them together to make one like thing out of it. And then and it came out dope. But the label, besides management and some besides his management and him and his entourage, the rest of the label, they felt like it was just too far out of his persona and his character, that they didn't get the point that this is it's not supposed to represent him, it's a story. So he ended up not ended up not putting it out.
That's crazy. That sounds so absol to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because he's like, he's out there. That's dope.
He's real out there. But they kind of want to wait till like he builds up, to like the Kendrick, Schoolboy Q level, to where they can do whatever he wants. Because you notice what, like, and this is what a lot of artists, like, you've seen Kendrick, like his first few videos is just regular hood, something like that, and then it started to grow a little bit different. He'll add a little bit of elements of creativity and abstractness to his videos, and now you see like with this whole Black Panther thing and all the videos that he's done, like it's still him, but then there's like a lot of abstractness to it. You get what I'm saying? So now like he can do weird shit and he can get away with it.
Yeah, he could do anything. Yeah, because they already crossed the line where it's like,
right. Yeah, he already made it past that line, so he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and then they got like major budgets, like for sure for that. That's like, I could just imagine.
It's
you probably
ridiculous.
know, but it's like they're like movie budgets.
Yeah,
like, they're like small movie budgets for sure.
Exactly.
Even like,
six figures. That's like, I mean, and some of the videos that you see today probably look the most basic video, and they cost 6 figures, just because like sometimes the featured artist is getting paid off of that featured budget.
Yeah,
and sometimes it goes into like to the pockets of the people shooting it or producing it.
Well, one of the videos that we did whatever. But it was like the wardrobe was 10 racks for the wardrobe, bro.
Right.
So you could
and they
just
probably
imagine
wore like 2 outfits.
Yeah, dog. So you could just imagine everything else. But it's crazy. It's interesting because this is like my first run, you know,
Right.
from going to. Yeah, so I'm excited because it's like how you said, like, oh, we came to see these sets and they were done. Like for me, I'm barely like, it's my first run, so I'm like,
Right.
it's super dope, you know, and I'm super blessed to have like my boy Jeff, which has
Jeff,
been in
yeah,
the
he's
mix, you know, he's like taking me around everything. And like the movies, are you thinking of doing movies, or you're kind of like strictly like music videos?
That's been the goal. Honestly, like the music video thing just kind of fell in my lap. You know, like, you know, being from San Diego, we don't really have a film industry in general. So, you know, like we don't really know where to start. Like we didn't have anyone that built a blueprint or someone to follow out of the city. You know, just to at least get that idea of like starting to shoot or doing movies and stuff like that. You know, we only hear like essence of like, oh yeah, they shot some of Anchorman here, they shot Con Air or Top Gun here at this location, and some other, you know, just like a few little spots, but we, you know, we're not there around to see it. So the music video thing just fell on my lap because, you know, at the time when I was going to San Diego State for film, I was a club promoter and I was
All right, we're back. We had a little technical difficulties with the temperature. This is the first time, not the first time, the first time that my phone has ever like went like hot has been in LA. Like I've never in my life had my phone go like hot, and
Right.
it's crazy. But all right, so here we are. I don't know, what were we talking about?
I think the last thing we were talking about was
You going
getting into the music video.
Yeah.
So or going to film. So basically, you know, I used to be a club promoter at San Diego State, and I kind of just took whatever connections with music, because, you know, I thought like I don't even know where to start, but, you know, like the music video thing looks kind of easy, and I started seeing some of like the local small time directors doing the same thing, and then so I decided to jump on doing the music video wave too, and then that's when I went out and got my Canon 7D and just shot my first music video. And then, you know, like I knew like I wasn't the greatest shooter because I didn't understand my camera or anything like that. And at San Diego State, like they didn't really teach you like the technical stuff. They taught you like the theory of film and like what's good or bad film and stuff like that, which is cool. You know, I learned like I'm more articulate with film now, but at the same time was like if you send me out into the street to shoot a movie, I wouldn't know where to start. Like I could do some bullshit, but like it's not gonna be good. So I started doing the music video thing, and it just kind of like I got brought, you know, I kind of stuck on with it, and it just kind of just went from there. So like I was like the guy that everyone wanted to go to. I started at the bottom, and then, you know, kind of built my way up kind of fast in San Diego. Just the fact that, you know, thank God I was a promoter, so a lot of people already knew who I was, but it was hard for them to take me serious as a director. You get what I'm saying? But what they didn't know was I was going to school for film while I was club promoting, because they just knew me as like the guy that did all the events with the poppin' artists or whatever. But like, you know, he's trying to be behind the camera. That's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like even like the artists that are on right now, like, you know, your Ty Dolla Signs, your YGs and stuff like that. Like I brought them out. I was like I was the first one to bring those artists out to San Diego, and you know, they recognize and know who I am and stuff like that. I still rock with them today, but, you know, they couldn't take me, like they couldn't look at me as I knew you as that poppin' promoter from Dago, but I didn't know you as the director. I don't know how I feel about that, if I should let you shoot my shit.
Right.
But the dope thing is I came out here meeting with other artists that didn't know me as a promoter, and now see me as a director. But what's funny is that when they see me like at events or something like that, I know club promoters, or I'll MC the events or something like that, it's weird for them to see me as that light to them too.
Yeah.
So it's like a vice versa thing. But you know, eventually my goal this year is to try to write my short films, and then try to get a budget and film them and just send them to the film festival circuit, and just try to get it in that way. At least build myself up as a director before, you know, like I take it to the next level, because I gotta start small somewhere.
Yeah, I do. First impression, I think, is super important, and
Exactly.
it's like, and then like the transition is, I think you got to prove yourself more.
Exactly.
If you already they seen you as,
because I'm not
something.
trying to be like a B movie director straight to Netflix or straight to DVD director. You know what I mean? Like, you can do that. Yeah, it's cool, money and stuff, but I want to be respected. I'd rather be a respected director than just a money hungry director. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of shitty movies out there, and I don't want to be a part of that realm.
definitely quality is a super important thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not, yeah, the
Quality and content.
Content
is the biggest thing.
And that's the thing, is you have to have consistent quality content. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Right.
can't just have a lot of like garbage in there, because then it's
Exactly.
like, but you do got to be consistent nowadays, because there's stuff, people are coming up with some like dope stuff, you know?
Right.
But everything does cost money, you know. Some people think it costs
yeah.
money.
People just say go out and shoot it. I mean, there's a lot of people that go out and shoot. Cool, but I don't want that to be my first impression. Like the last short film I shot, it was shot with quality because I was at film school at the time, but my content was good, but I think my direction of putting it together wasn't that good, and I was still growing. But you know, I've matured so much to understand what I did wrong and know what to do at this time. So when I come out, I want to come out strong. I don't want to just come out like, hey, I shot this real quick with a bunch of friends or whatever, and then you know, like, yeah, we didn't have money for this thing, so we did, which is cool. Like I love that, but like at the same time, like if I'm coming out as a film director, or you know, or feature film director or short film director, I want to come out right. It has to be right, and that's the same thing with music video with artists. Is like, if you're trying to do a music video, you got to come correct, come right. You don't want to come with the shitty thing. Oh, we're gonna shoot in front of the liquor store. I got the homies and some bitches. My boy's about to bring his Camaro, and we're gonna shoot in front of it. And, no, like, I mean, like, you got to do it right. If you don't do it right, then like, what's the point of even like wasting everyone's time doing this? You know
and then
what I mean?
and it's crazy, especially for like, I think San Diego, because they don't know it too much, but it's like it takes so much to plan. You know, planning is like, it takes so much. They just think like, oh well, the homie's good, and then you get there and it's like, now you can't even shoot there, so you got to find a new location. But I thought we had the spot locked down,
right? And you go through that a lot, and those type of videos, I call them freestyle videos. Not freestyle that the rapper's freestyling from the camera. Freestyle is the director is freestyling this shoot. He showed up because he doesn't know, like, just like a freestyle rapper, they don't know what beat's about to play. We're showing up to a location, we've never seen it before, and we scout it out within like 10 minutes and try to make something out of it. Something happens, we have to jump to another thing, and we have to try to make, like, basically we got to squeeze water out of a rock. Like, we try to make the best of what you're given.
Which, I mean, and then you do come up with some dope stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because I think it's like the eye and the experience that you have, that you could work with what you have, and you could, but it just, and it could be fun, but
it gets repetitive.
It does.
It's the same shit.
The graffiti wall, the car and the chick.
Yeah, the cars, the chick, the liquor store, the alley, the hood, the front porch, I mean, I could keep going on and on. Like, we're gonna shoot at the swap meet, or like my boy got the weed store, or, you know, or if they try to go out the box, they're like, hey, we're gonna shoot the shot with me in a straight jacket like this. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's my
straight jacket.
Oh yeah, that's really original. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one done it before. But you know what I mean? Like, originality, like, and what helps with with creating a good video is a good song too, or the content of the song, because sometimes it could be a really shitty song, and trying to make something good out of it could be really typical. But at the same time, it's like, if you have open freedom, you can do a whole different opposite thing off of a song that's not very good.
Yeah, and it's crazy because with like, you can have like a alright song and you put a video to it, and it like, whoa, it just beefed up the song with the visual. Or I think you could go backwards, you can have like a dope song and they do a weak video, and it's like, it kind of devalues the song. You're like, oh dude, I pictured it way, or whatever the case. I think it's like, you know, it could go both ways with the visual. You could do service to the song or a disservice, I think.
Exactly, and that's always it helps a lot. And just like a music video director, for us to get on, it's hard to get on as like a top music video director. If you're not, like, honestly, like, the music video world is cool. It can be good money if you're at that level, but if you're not, like, I mean, you'd have to find other work and stuff like that. Like for example, like, if you're not like a Colin Tilley or something like that, you're really not getting a lot of work that you want, because a lot of people want to go to those go-to directors. And just like an artist, to get on, they just need that one song. With us, we just need that one video, that's that one song or whatever. And what sucks too, just like music artists, when they get mad that, oh, like, this mumble rap song is on and it's a shitty song, or blah blah blah. There's directors out there that are like first time directors shooting for these one hit wonder songs real quick, and because the song blew up, the video blew up, and that director's all on now too. You get what I'm saying? Which kind of it's cool for them, but it sucks for guys like us that have been putting in so much work and putting quality into the videos where like a guy that just shot some bullshit in front of in front of grandma's house or whatever, and they got on because the song just like went fire, just hit rapid fire. So the video hit rapid fire, and now he's a respected director.
Yeah, for sure. How is it? Yeah, dude. How is it? What's your I would say style, or like what when you get a yellow when you get a yellow video, like what is it that do you have a style? You think?
I had points where I did have a style, but it got to the point where it got repetitive. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got bored of like for example, I had a period where with all my videos I had kind of like this like greenish contrasty look or whatever too. It had that like City of Men look, or I mean what's another idea, kind of like a Man on Fire look, where it has that like that, or no, not Man on Fire, like Seven, like where it's kind of greenish. It has that greenish tint to it with like really dark contrast. And I was doing to all those videos because like, man, it looks raw. But now like every video looks like that. Like I had like a hard hard rap song and then an R&B song. It still has the same look. I was like, you can't have a hard looking R&B song to look like that, like the hard rap song. So then people started to see like, oh, that's a Yellow video. I don't want them to like look at like, oh, that's a Yellow video. I want them to look like, damn, who directed that shit?
Oh shit, Yellow.
Then find, oh yeah, he did it. So I since then I just started to change up every single time, or try to like change everything from like my titles. I'll change up I'll get bored of like the title sequence, I'll set to it, and then I'll change it to like a whole nother thing. And even like the looks or the ideas or filters and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's I think I started hearing that I had a style too, but it was because of lack of resources. You know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't have that many.
And that's
lights.
You know what? That's
so
that's good. That's okay, because you start to once you start to realize it, you'll start to like put in more effort to be away from what you did before.
Yeah.
And you know, like nowadays, like a lot of people are doing videos where like they're on a gimbal and the camera's moving around a lot, and like the shots are coming back and forth, moving around, and then they'll add like all these like cheap effects or whatever, because your little Zans or little whatevers are doing like these little cheap effects, and now everyone's doing them too. Right. Which is okay, that's cool, but like you don't want to be known as a director that knows how to copy people but doesn't know how to do their own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
can do all that. I could do all that cheap editing if you want, but like
that's their shit.
That's their shit. That's not my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's so true. Yeah. That's so true.
Like they'll go to you just because you're known for doing someone else's shit, and then once that wave goes away, what do you have now?
I think having a good relationship with the artist and having a good collab with them, that's one of the things that I like, you know, where it's like they kind of put in like some input, but they also let you kind of like let you do you. What are some of your pet peeves when it comes to like music videos and working with artists? Because I know I see you, I've been seeing your not even rants, dog, because I totally see where you're coming from.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
See, the only reason why I rant, because all the people that follow me are rappers. So it's like sometimes you get sick of artists just like the same different artists but asking the same questions or the same shit. So you have to put that out there and just be straight blunt. So because before, like, I'll get asked dumb, you know, like just dumb questions that is really obvious. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like they come to me correct this time. They know, like, all right, I'm not gonna approach them until I get my shit together. But like a lot of times it's like it's such a long list of stuff that are pet peeves that can happen. Like, you know, asking me to write a treatment when they know what they want to do, and it's the most simplest thing. There's really no, like, okay, I want to shoot in front of a car with some girls at the beach, and that's the whole video that they want. Like, they don't want nothing else because that's all they want. But they want me to write a treatment for it. Like, why? You get what I'm saying? Like, you know exactly what we're shooting.
No, just to say I got a treatment for my video.
Exactly. Oh, I got to give it to my manager. You can't tell your manager you're just shooting in front of a house or whatever. You can't type an email like, we're shooting in front of a house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
On top of that, other pet peeves is the biggest pet peeve is undercutting. like you come to me and ask what I do, and then you start asking me, oh, what type of camera I use with and all that, and then try to go to another like cheap director and try to go rent that stuff, the same thing that I use or whatever. No, you don't do that. You gotta remember what I'm using is good for what I like to use, not for what they like to use. It's like, oh yeah, I'm good at PlayStation, not at Xbox. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell a guy that's only known how to use an Xbox to hop on the PlayStation because it has better quality.
That's crazy.
And better effects.
For
You
sure.
get what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. You get what I'm saying? You're forcing someone to do something you don't want to do. So that's like me telling a rapper, like, oh, you're a club rapper, I want you to do a lyrical song, a lyrical conscious song. You can't do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, and on top of that, like, you're undercutting me, and you're trying to steal what I'm known to do, or all the stuff that I used for someone else to use. You get what I'm saying?
My favorite's the one where it's like, oh, well, the homie could do it for so and so, and I'm like, oh, sick. I'll even send them for some people that charge less, but then they come back and we'll do the same song. It's out. Now you're even like, because I'm not gonna lower my price.
And you just wasting your money on doing a shitty video with someone else and try to come back to me and try to get a sob story and whatever. It's like, no, like, you came to me first and you went to someone else. Like I can't really help you out. Like, I even cut you a deal. You know what I mean? Like, when you cut them a deal and they still think it's too much, cool. Like, oh, the homie down the street can do it, we'll go to him. Sorry, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. Like, I don't.
Yeah, but then there's a reason why your rate's a little bit higher, because you could see it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's because you could give the exact same camera to two different people and you'll do different things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
like I had this group that I worked with in LA, and they kept requesting me for the red because the last video they shot was with the red, but it looked like shit. I'll tell you that. Like, it looked like shit because the guy just got his red, didn't know how to use it and stuff like that. And even his videos before that were subpar. You know, I'm not trying to hate, but I'm just being real. Like, it wasn't the greatest videos that he did either. And then they kept requesting me for the red, but you know, I'm doing it for the love because they're a known group or whatever. Or they have a pop in LA. And then, you know, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna look out for you guys, but I mean, I'm looking out, but I'm not taking out money out of my pocket to get you guys a red.
Right.
Like, if you guys can get a red, cool, but I can do just as good without a red. And then like, okay, let's see. So I had my Canon 7D, a little rinky-dink lens, and another a stock lens that wasn't even an L series lens. So I used that, shot this clean video, and I was showing them the footage off of the camera just so they can take a look at it. So, because usually what I do is when I shoot the first 2 or 3 scenes, I let the artist look at it because they might not be motivated. They're kind of like tired. You show it to them, they see how dope it is, and then they get all like, oh yeah, let's do more. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Now you're hyped up now, so I can get more energy out of you. So I show that to them, and they're like, wow, this looks better than the last video we shot, and we're just looking at it in camera. There's no editing or nothing like that. So.
Yeah, and then that's another thing too. Sorry for cutting you off, but that's another thing too. It's like people just like how we're talking about the treatment. I want a treatment. People just like, I want to shoot with the red.
Right.
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like I shoot with the A7.
Right.
And it's like, that's like butter too.
A7 is butter.
But people just want to see like they came out shooting with this big old thing. It's like, well, what's the best tool for the job at this point? You know what I'm saying?
And let me tell you this. I swear to God, if you got like some random cheap ass big camera and threw a red sticker on it, they would not even know the difference. They just know the red because it's the red, but they don't know that there's different types of reds. If they just see that red logo on it, they know. So if you go get you a big ass Black Magic for $5,000, throw a red sticker on it, and just throw all the extra shit on it, like the shoulder rig and the little matte box and stuff, which mostly you don't really need the matte box unless you're in the sun, and they don't know that, but they see this big thing and they'll think like, oh yeah, it's popping. You can get the same little A7S, put on a shoulder rig and just add a bunch of shit on it, and that really you don't need it, and I swear to God they'll think it's the hottest shit in the world. Like, but if you hold that little camera, they're like, I need something.
It is like perception. Perception is
perception.
For sure. And I mean, and I get it because it makes them like, especially if they got people, it makes them feel like, oh, I'm doing it, and that's what I'm talking about, like local artists or whatever, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool, but
it's not. Like, but see, the thing is, it's not about trying to look cool behind the scenes. It matters on what the final product is.
That's
gonna go worldwide. You're not gonna be promoting your behind the scenes. You're gonna be promoting the final product. the behind the scenes can come afterwards. If they see this final product is so dope, and they see the behind the scenes, we didn't use shit for it just to make this happen. That's where you're gonna get more love. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get more respect for that. Like, yo, they had nothing and they made this.
Or it could even backfire where it's like you could put out the behind the scenes and it looks like, oh, this shit's gonna look like a movie,
and then it comes out looking like shit.
Oh shit, the homie shot some secret shit with the A7. Or
exactly.
It's crazy for sure.
Man.
That's cool, man. So yeah, dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you already know.
We need to get something in. Like if you ever need help with anything, dog. Like I'm right here, dog. I would love to help you, and we should write something or do something. You know?
Yeah,
like
I'm definitely. I'm actually. Like the next few short films that I want to write, it's gonna be based on minorities in America in general, just because, like, you know, with the times that we're going through right now, with all these people, you know, feeling like minorities aren't picking up their weight, and we need to let them know, like, yo, like, we are here to do, you know what I mean, like, we are here doing, you know, working our ass off just like anyone else. So I want to do some short films about, like, Asian, Black, Mexican, you know what I mean, Middle Eastern, any different minorities in America specifically, and what we have to go through to survive in America, or to live in America, or the struggles that we go through. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just actually recently and I had a story about a Mexican family living in East Los Angeles, but I'm flipping it around. I met this this older Mexican man in Tijuana last week, because I was scouting out a location. And I met him because he's a friend of a friend, and he transported us back to the border before we stopped to get some tacos, and we just talked to him too. And you know, he's from Mexico, he lives there, but he spoke good English. And I guess way back when, like over 10 years ago, he escaped to the U.S. with his wife and his daughter at a really young age, and they moved to Oregon. And he moved to Oregon to go to to live, and then he found out that his mother was dying in Mexico, and he had to make a choice to stay here to go see his mother's last minutes before she died, her last days. And then so he decided to go back, but he went back, he won't be able to come back. You get what I'm saying? So he went on his own, and then, you know, like, got to see his mom, and now he's stuck in Mexico, and he hasn't seen his wife and daughter in 10 years.
Dang,
and he still keeps in contact, but he's just not able to go over there. You know, over 10 years ago, he was a lot younger, so he would have been able to just, like, snuck through, but now he's a lot older, so it's a little bit harder. And, you know, the whole thing about DACA, you know, that's been affecting his daughter too. So they're trying to get everything on point for them to do that. But, you know, I want to write that story about, you know, how human it is. You get what I'm saying? They're like, we're still human, we're still people, and shit like that isn't, you know what I mean, it isn't cool. Not everyone was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and not everyone was born in this country, not everyone was born in another nice country either. So we got to show that, like, yeah, we can go through the paperwork to do the immigration, it takes years. People don't have time. You know what I'm saying? Time is money, and time is money for a lot of people, and they should understand that if they made it in here, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, does it really hurt your pocket that bad? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't see an illegal immigrant trying to be a director. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and even if they did, you know, all for them, because they might have the greatest ideas out of their mind too, of the shit that they went through to put on film.
Well, how you said, and they're still people. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're still human. We're
all human. Yeah, like, we all bleed the same blood. We all bleed red.
And just, I mean, there's good people here, and they're like, we're the same. There's good people here, there's good people there. It's just like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough. What would you, once your career is over, 5 years? Where are you gonna be in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Still in LA, in a lot bigger house, hopefully, and if not, at least, like, living comfortably and being able, and already shooting films already.
Once it's all said and done, what you want to be remembered as?
I want to be remembered as a progressive director that stands up for people that are struggling in the industry, and being able to speak for them, and being able to let people of other colors be able to be hired and do stories that everyone else can adapt to too. Because I mean, like, with the whole Oscars so white thing, like, it's true, like honestly, the only next biggest minority group that's in American film is black, which is only 14% of the film industry. And then next is Latino, which is about, I think, 5% of the American film industry. And then the next one is Asian, which is 2%, 2 or 1%, I believe.
Dang.
We don't get no love because we get stereotyped, you know, along with everyone else. And I know everyone else doesn't like getting stereotyped too. That's why Black Panther was such a big movie, because and it helps for people like us. So that's why I hate when I see other minorities talk bad, like, why don't we get a Black Panther? No, bro, like, take this and run with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, we gotta follow right behind this. Like, we can't throw this down and keep letting all these other movies take over or whitewashing our characters. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more of our faces on American TV. Like, yeah, like in China and Asia, like, film over there is big, but you know, there's a lot of American born minorities that live here that don't relate to like their home country like that much. You know, they'll enjoy it but not relate to it. I want to do more relatable stuff. Like, I can't relate to a Jimmy and Bill, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see more guys like me, because I don't want my kids growing up thinking, oh, I'm only known as a liquor store owner or a laundromat owner or something like that on TV, or a nerd or a geek. I want them to see that, you know, I'm proud that this guy is cool, and I can be cool just like this guy too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Dang, that's crazy. That's pretty official for sure.
Like, I think if anything, and it's not because, it's more because the Asian ethnicity, we're the most quietest minority group out of all the minorities in America. So our voice is very small and isn't as powerful in the entertainment industry. So like, that's why we always get the short end of the stick when it comes to film. So that's why, like, I support Black and Hispanic in American film, and whatever they do, I'm 10,000% behind it, because what they're doing is helping guys like me and guys like us out. I'm a lot more outspoken than other Asian Americans, but at the same time, it's like we all got to step up and do our part.
Yeah, dude, and I think you do that very well too. Even like you being a SD representative, like, you're always standing up for like your city, and you're always putting out like information, and I think you're already doing that already, and that's dope, dude. And I think I appreciate it, like, for sure. Like, you definitely made me step up like my game, you know what I'm saying, and making it like like being from SD and like making it possible. Like, I remember when I first started seeing, like, I saw one of your videos, I was like, oh, like, I didn't expect that being from San Diego, you know? Right. And I was like,
well, see, that was how I got started. There was a director that I started right behind him named Brad Bittler. He retired now. He lives in the Bay, and he's doing a lot of business stuff. But you know, he was shooting for like all like my big homies that I grew up in the hood. He was doing videos for them, and he was shooting on like a nice 5D camera, you know, just like a regular DSLR. And then when I saw the video come out, I was like, damn, that quality's so damn good. It looks like some TV shit, like MTV shit. And that inspired me to like, yo, I gotta do the same shit for all these other rappers too. Like, I want to do this type of quality for it. And that made me like, damn, this shit came out of San Diego, just like you did. Like, I saw that, and I was just like, yo, I need to do this. You get what I'm saying? And then grow from that, hopefully. And also, for any USD people, just because I moved to LA, don't think that I don't ever represent San Diego out here. If you ask any fucking person in the urban industry or hip-hop industry in LA, they will tell you I'm the San Diego boy. They will all tell you that shit. Some of them call me a San Diego or a Dago boy, or they will tell you that, because I will represent that to the fullest. If they talk shit, and I'll give them a piece of my mind. I almost got into fades with people about the Mexican food out here. Trust me, like, I represent it to the fullest. Regardless where I go, I'll represent it one way or another.
For real.
I let people know, so don't think like, oh, I went Hollywood. No, I didn't go Hollywood.
That's the worst. I
go Dago in Hollywood. Just letting you know that.
I love that.
Exactly. And I just and I just have a different mindset now that you're not used to that I was back then. So it's like I don't have time for the bullshit, but regardless, I don't ever forget where I'm from.